She wants to know if you're a drug dealer.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not a drug. Wrong guy. Wrong guy. I made a lot of sacrifices and hard decisions. I started businesses, and life took off.
Wow.
All right, let's talk about this. There's a lot of shenanigans going on. It's a quick late night live. I'll be here for about half an hour to 45 minutes unless the guys come through. It's not a super panel, guys, so let's keep it a buck. Can I start with a high octane energy and start first and foremost? Patrice is mugging Alonzo off. Just want to keep it 100 a buck, yeah? Listen, she's mugging him off because what's going on? This is what we call a late play in the game. But the late play in the game don't make sense because the brother never called you, never messaged you, was never really doing that much for you. So why is it that you played a late game for Chaz about his husband material? Husband where? This is telling me that you really don't want Alonzo. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. You don't want Alonzo. You don't want him. You never wanted him. Okay? It's a bit of a play. It's a bit of a vibe. You have fun with him, right? But you ain't never really serious about Alonzo because this late play for Chaz makes no sense when he wasn't calling you, wasn't texting you until you got to the house, right? Until you got to the house. Until you got to the house. I want you to understand something. Till you got to the house. The brother didn't even want to give you energy. Till you got to the house. Till you begged him to give you a chance and to give you an opportunity to actually connect. Can you understand that madness? Let me tell you something. This is how you know a woman hates you and does not like you and must really want to break you into 1,000 pieces. Because in what way? In what world do you feel like as a latecomer at the house that you are now initiating a conversation because you prayed together one prayer? Does that now make you lovers? Does that now make you romantically compatible? One little prayer to Jesus in heaven. Huh? One little prayer. The Bible says where 2 or 3 are gathered. The Bible says if 2 of you agree, that's all you're doing. You're agreeing to pray. And you're telling me now we're going to be romantic about it? I was confused. I was mad confused that now he's meeting your parents and, trying to tell to your mom, this is a great guy, and saying that, oh, he looks like daddy too. I said, this is too much. And all the while, Alonzo has been there, and we knew. Okay, let's keep it a buck. I give the men showers. That sounds very poor, so I gotta say that. But I give the men, a carnage review. When they move mad, we gotta call out Patrice. It's time. The dark arts have got to end, baby. The dark arts have got to end. You pulled letters out of your breast to show to his family. To show to his friend last time, and now all of a sudden, it's you and Chaz. Baby, let me tell you something. Okay, all right. Praying is not enough. Okay, all right. Prayer is not enough to make that person your wife or your husband. There needs to be some romantic connection. You understand what I'm saying to you? There needs to be some romantic connection. All right. We're not trying to get to heaven here. We're trying to get a relationship going. You understand what I'm saying to you? We'll deal with her in a second. Then obviously, we had Justin and Mika. Let me just say this now. Mika is a lover girl, and if she does not be careful, her heart will be ruined again. Listen to me very carefully. Mika, I know you watched the review, so listen to me very carefully. You are a lover girl. If you don't be careful, Justin is going to be the one that breaks your heart. Because, look, the one thing that spiked my attention with what brother Justin was even saying, okay, was that he said, listen, you know that I might go like, I might just go. I might go, 4 to 6 hours without talking to you. And she was like, well, I don't expect anyone to go 4 to 6 hours without talking to me. But I need my space. I said, excuse me, sir. In what world do you need 4 to 6 hours not to text your girl? In what world do you need 4 to 6 hours not to call your girl? Can I be honest with you? Can I be freaking real with you? Yeah? Let's keep it a buck and 100, yeah? If I have to keep 4 to 6 hours not talking to you, I don't like you. I really don't. You're good enough, but you're not enough. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? If there's 4 to 6 hours that I have to spend time not talking to you, then you're not good enough. You're just enough. And at that point, let's be honest. At that point, let me just be real with you. Listen, that don't make no sense to me. Okay, that makes no sense to me. Okay, I got people in busy jobs I can get a hold of, and they don't take 4 to 6 hours. Like, so why would you need that time? I'm a person. I need my personal time alone. Don't get it twisted. I need my personal time alone. But I'm a person as well. Look, I understand that communication is needed. 4 to 6 hours is ludicrous to me. Madness. At that point, I feel like you're trying to distance yourself. Okay, so I don't think he's ready for love. And if Mika gets too caught up, she can get finished. You know what I'm saying to you? So she needs to be very, very careful and be very, very aware of the situation at hand. And then obviously Laron and Vanessa and Chaz. Okay, can we be very real? Okay, Chaz knows exactly what he's doing. He don't want that girl. No offense to Vanessa. He don't want that woman. Okay? Look, one thing about men. Okay? One thing about men. Can we be honest with you? One thing about men is that when they want something, they go for it. Yeah? Now, don't get it twisted. Chaz, I mean, it looks like he works in. He had a friend that's going for the FBI. The last next episode we saw and everything. Maybe that's Chaz kind of thing. A bit like how we saw with a few seasons ago when it came to what's his brother's name? One that Morgan cussed out. What's his name again? I can't remember the guy's name. But a bit like him, right? Men are not slow to make decisions. They're just slow with you. Can I say that again? For anybody listening, listen. Can I be honest with you? Men are not slow to make decisions. They're just slow with you. Blake, thank you. Yeah? I'm going to say it one more time for those at the back. Men are not slow to make decisions. They're just slow with you. Meaning, you're not the one that's going to make them want to choose you. They don't rate you to choose you. Yeah? That's just the whole point. Because the whole thing is, listen, don't get it twisted. I understand he's got a process. I want to say this again. All right, I understand they got a process, but the reality of the situation is when people like people, they make a choice. Men especially, are very quick to nail to nail something down when they think it's good. The reality is he doesn't think you're good enough. You know, I watched a video today and it was by Tim, Pastor Tim. And I always get his name. I don't know why it's gone out of my head. And he was saying basically like if a man dates you for 5 years and still doesn't know what he's doing, get rid of him. I wouldn't even go 5 years. If a man doesn't know what he's doing, and I'm talking about us, we're 30 plus now, yeah? So let's talk about 30 pluses. I'm not talking about the 25-year-olds. They're still pretty young. Those of us who are 30, okay, all right? Those of us who are 30 plus, right? I don't want to hear no other excuse about I'm not ready. Listen, that girl's not for you then. Let her go. Let her go. You're wasting her good years. Okay, if you are 30, she's 20, and ladies, their time is a little bit earlier too. Ladies are probably like 25, onwards. They got less years than us. So ladies are 25, and if you 25 dating somebody who's 30 or 28, listen, you've got 2 years max. You should know. If you go anything longer than 2 years, you're wasting our time. It's that simple. I'm so sorry. There's no need to go more than 2 years. So, what am I saying that? I'm sorry, I got distracted. What I'm trying to say is that Chaz, okay, knows exactly what he's doing. In that situation, he playing Vanessa, he putting his hands underneath the table, trying to grab her hands. The guy is a cold-ass player. I see you, Sean. I'm going to bring you on in a second. He's a very cold-ass player because, he knew exactly, let me put my hands underneath the table and hold her hands. Nigga, you ain't choosing her. You ain't choosing her. This is why I was hard on Chaz, because he tried to come on Laron. I don't like people that want to come on somebody knowing that they play the same game we playing. If you play the same game I'm playing, I'm not about to get onto you. You play the same game I'm playing, and I'm going to out you in front of the woman that you're playing the game with, but I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to play the game. Okay? I'm playing the exact same game. That makes no sense. Right, he out here saying, our connection's so strong, but then tell us in a chat in the confessions, I don't know if she's my strongest connection. So who's your strongest connection, Chaz? Who is your strongest connection, man? Who is your strongest connection? Yeah, they said that I worship you comment. That was mad. I couldn't lie to you. When he said that, I was fluming. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm just like, he playing a game. Like, not that he's playing a game. He knows he doesn't want none of. He knows in his mind, he's made a decision. He wants none of them. That's the truth. None of them actually make him want to move, and that's not a bar, and that's not even a fight. A lot of us as men, the Bible talks about how Adam, no suitable helper was found. With all the animals that were coming along, no suitable helper was found. Then the Bible says that God sought it fit that it should not be that man should be alone. So he decided to make man a helper. Out of the rib of him, he pulled out Eve. And then he says, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. When a man knows, he knows. That's what I'm trying to say to you. When a man knows, he knows. right? So in the end, he gonna waste your time because he knows. All right. And then Laron and Maya. Laron, sorry. Laron. Okay? Laron. Oh my days. I'm so sorry. Laron. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? You are losing the battle. You're losing the plot. Bro, you let the beauty pull you out of position. Okay? You let the beauty pull you out of position, Laron, to a point where you called the woman a B word. I can't lie to you. I've never called any of my exes a B word, and I've never laid a hand on any of my exes. They all know. It's not my MO. But the fact that you called her the B word tells me that you're scared. You're scared of her taking advantage of you, bro. And now you've ruined it. Ruined it. Absolutely ruined it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Brother had a chance, an opportunity. Yeah. Yes, I've been seeing what I saw. Yes, I saw on Jay's platform that she said that, you know, I was like, wait, hold on. They're looking like they were getting close. So I don't know. Laron have to sort that out. You know, so I don't know. A bit of a mad thing in that situation. I'll be honest with you, I've done a review on this, right? The club is the worst place. When you're not, and I had a situation I know, when you're in a club, dumb things happen. And because you don't have no, and this time I had to learn myself. I can't lie to you, I had to learn it. And, you know, God just showed me and opened my eyes to the situation. The club is one of the worst places to be when you're not secure. If you're an insecure person, it's the worst place to be in, the club. If you're an insecure person, if you've got any ounce of insecurity in you, the club is the worst place to be. Whether it's your partner or whether it's your somebody you're trying to date, the club is the worst place. Because in the club, the rules are different. Like if you go for dinner, someone approaches your girl at a table, you can easily say, hey, sorry, excuse me, you don't see me here. Or your girl can say, sorry, I'm sitting with my guy. In the club, the rules don't exist. Right? The rules don't exist. If someone approaches your girl in a club, if someone approaches even a girl that you're dating, not even that your girl, someone you're dating, at that point, if they approach her, she can liable to have a conversation. And technically, she hasn't done nothing wrong because the rules in the club are very different from the rules in the streets. The club has completely different rules. So if you're not secure, I'm telling you, that it becomes very different than if you're out and about and someone approaches your person or whatever. Because in the club, anything goes. So you have to learn how to handle those things. And when you've got insecurity, it can trigger it very, very quickly. Right? It can trigger it so quickly because other men who you may think are competition or have a chance with your girl, they're allowed to approach your girl. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah? They're allowed to approach your girl and that leaves you open. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Unless you're literally, like I said, if someone approaches that's a friend or whatever, then it's different. But hey, it is what it is, unfortunately. He gonna have to deal with that because that's the situation. Do you get what I'm saying to you? But I'm gonna say this, ladies know also, and I said this to the group. I said, but if you know women too, and I'm not saying all women, I want to specifically talk about insecure women. I know a lot of women are gonna say they're not insecure. Yeah. There's a lot of insecure women, just like there's a lot of insecure men. A lot of insecure women also know that when a guy approaches them, I see you, Sean, you're good. I see you, I'm going to bring you up. A lot of insecure women too know how to use those situations to their benefit. We don't want to talk about that. Just like the insecure man, there's an insecure woman, and there's plenty of them. They will use that situation to their benefit. The question is, do you have an insecure woman or not? See, that's the reality. You don't know that. So when you jump ahead of time and you make a decision and you act on it, you're going to cause yourself issue, which is why you need to wait and judge the situation when you're not in a heightened emotional state. But let me just say this now. The game players, they know who they are. The ladies know who exactly they are, the game players. They know exactly what they're about. They will honestly, literally, they will play you, blood. And they'll be like, I just talking to a friend. Da, da, da. And meanwhile, I was that friend. The bastards. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah? So, just want to take, you know what I mean? Yeah? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But, yeah, he lost the plot by calling her the B word. He gonna have to answer for that. You know what I'm saying to you? So, all right, let me call Sean up as well. Brother, political. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, man. It's just nonstop, you know, and it's just nonstop drama all day long. I'm telling you, this season is you getting in beefs. We got songs. We got whoo, my nerves. But yeah, I think this
Shot.
episode we're starting to see some things. But I'm really upset. I'm mad at Patrice because look, the way she is doing poor Alonzo, it's some nasty work, boy. And did you see the way he talked to her, right? You know, he's been trying, and he was like, listen, I felt some type of way, about you. I kind of felt left out, and she was like, no, don't feel left out. If it was you, I would have done it. Cap, 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 cap. Why? What kind of Jedi mind trick redirection? Don't feel bad. What? Bro is putting his feelings out, telling you he felt left out. How about, oh, sorry, that wasn't my intention. I didn't mean to do that. Nah, don't feel that way. She is macking this poor guy. I feel bad for him. He needs to cut Patrice loose because she's very unserious. I don't know why she's behind chasing behind Chaz. I'm not sure what's going on here. Well, we do know because Patrice brought her whole family to meet Chaz. She brought the mama and her brother. But yeah, and then the mother was like, "Oh, so are you wealthy? Oh, okay, all right. Now we understand. Now we get into the root of the matter." So I found that to be very interesting.
Listen, the fact that they highlighted the finances what killed me the most. I was like, Patrice, baby. Like, I get it. Listen, she's got 2 kids. She's probably thinking to herself, look, I want to be set up. You know what I mean? That was her thing. She wants to be set up. She doesn't want to keep, having to work so hard. And I get it. I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Women look for security. My thing is that she just, you know what? She played a game. Part of me goes, that's the game. And she played it like Chaz did. But at the same time, it's almost like she also dragging Alonzo through this situation, and I'm like, why? Why are you dragging Alonzo through the situation, baby? When you know that Alonzo ain't it, he's ready to be a boyfriend, not a husband. I was like, okay, well, you dragging him, babe. Can't lie to you, you dragging him. But she played it, and then it's like for me also, it's like also the thing is that she tried. Why she waited so long to try with him is what kills me the most. I was like, why are you waiting for so long before you want to make this move on Chaz when he's not been talking to you? What was the point? But hey, people, they know why. You know what I mean? They know why.
Yeah, I don't know what the strategy is, but it's like it seems just too little, too late. And then for the simple fact of, yo, the conversation they had a couple of episodes back, he was like, he didn't take her number or he lost it or whatever happened with her number. Yo, that is a clear indicator. I don't care what you say that there's little to no interest. Why are you pushing the button? You keep pushing the button. And he was, kissing on Rashina, and you can't tell me she didn't know that. So for me, that whole thing is like, yo, why are you throwing your hat in the ring so late? Why don't you invest in where your strongest connection is, and why are you trying to make something happen that really is very unlikely to happen here?
Go for it, Jay.
I say with Patrice, I'm gonna put my little cape on for a second, but if it ain't about the money, it's for the sport. Because we see her do the competitive stuff kind of like early on when she pulled out the note out the chest when she was with Rashina for Alonzo. So it's like either you just competing against these ladies at this point or you invested because it's money. And I'll say this much, and this is where my little cape gonna come on. Maybe we got this late play because we already know that they don't be putting them on dates with people that they won't. And this is like her second real opportunity to really shoot her shot because we only seen her with them at the house. I can't remember if the pajama jam was after the house or not. I don't remember the order, but I don't know. But I just it's given competition or you emanate for the money. One of the two. And you trying to figure out how to get rid of Alonzo real quick.
Yep, I hear it. Listen, I'm definitely. She's trying to get rid of that boy. She want him out the place, out this place. That's what she want him to. I definitely hear that. Quickly then, obviously, let's shift it because I'm only going to be here for an hour. But let's talk. Obviously, then let's talk. Obviously, then Mika and Justin. What your thoughts are on them two? What was your thoughts on Mika and Justin? You know, how do you guys see them?
Um, Listen, I see Mika being open or whatever and stuff like that. I hope she just understands what she's open for. Because I just really don't see this going on no more than a situationship. I could be wrong, but the vibes that I'm actually getting is just a situationship. So long as she's open to what it actually is and keep it there, then they should be fine. But if she actually starts developing real feelings for him, it's going to be a problem because you're asking of him something that he's incapable of giving right now. He told her basically it would take him 8 months to figure her out or whatever. So I'm like, if it's going to take you 8 months to figure out her game plan, how she moves, or how she operates, that's a long time. And you basically telling her, be on my schedule up until then. So but then it's at the same time she's sitting here telling us that she will put her man on the back burner for her children. So I'm like, why are you complaining about the time if he don't call you? You know what I'm saying? Like you'll clearly put him on the back burner when you get convenient for you. And as a mother, I know how to use my child as an excuse for when I don't want to do stuff. So y'all sound like y'all in the same bracket. Write it out. Enjoy your little night creeps and movie sessions every so often with each other. Just enjoy the moment till you find your man and he find his lady.
Yeah, I'm, and I see a couple people say it in the chat too. Like, I'm enjoying seeing her happy. She seems to really be enjoying the company of Justin. So I like to see that on her. I see her, soften up a little bit. So I'm hoping that we can see, we can have somebody to root for. Now, similar to what Jay's saying, I'm not really sure because Justin's vibes initially, especially when he was talking with his friends and had his friends meet some of the ladies, he seemed more like he was down for a good time, not a long time. Now that can change, and I think seeing what I saw from Mika, she was very nurturing. I know he was sick. She was, taking care of him. She's been very clear about, if she likes you, she likes you, which I think we all like to see. Is like if somebody likes me, they like me. If you don't like me, then just, let's not play games. So I like that she is very straightforward. But they just need to continue to. I want her to take it slow. I liked her, the father's advice. I'm watching. I'm glad that Justin saw that there is a man in her life that cares about her. Daddy was an OG, so I was really glad to hear his advice and see his presence in her life. And again, I just want her to take it slow. Set your expectations. I think the communication expectations was good. Now, if Justin can pivot, now I'm not sure if Justin's gonna pivot. And that we have to see because he's talking about all this alone time that he needs. When you get into the process of ready to love, I think like I'm thinking about reflecting on the times that I've been in love, like in the early stages, you can't help but you just want to talk to your girl. You just want to talk to her. What you doing, baby? When I'm going to see you? Y'all are really talking, falling asleep on the phone, doing all those things when you can't see each other. So for me, I think we need to really see where he is. Is he really, really ready to be serious, or is he just looking to kind of date?
Listen, I agree with you guys. I think I was asking myself whether he really wanted to, whether he really wanted to, be with her. But I love that was on his case. The dad is given that he used to play the game himself. Can't lie to you. The dad is given, the dad is given he played the game. Can't lie to you. It's given, I used to be one of those in the back of the day, so I see what I see. But I love that fact he kept Justin honest. Obviously, this show, like I said, this show just kind of promotes things that, really and truly, in real life doesn't really happen as much. But it's good to be vetted, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But I don't know how serious Justin is. Not because I think he's bad or anything, but just because as well, like I said, the conversational piece where they talked about how long it'll be before they can, how he needs a space. And whenever somebody says they need their space like that, and are you clingy? Like they've already started a distancing, as well. So yeah, I was just like, okay, he gonna distance himself. Trust me on that. Okay, let's shift it on. Next one. Obviously talking about mine's gone out of my head. Vanessa and Chaz. What's your thoughts on Vanessa and Chaz, guys? Vanessa and Chaz. I want to get your thoughts on them. Because the old boy was doing hands underneath the table. Man was telling about you're not my number one connection. Her sister called him out. All kinds of stuff. So, what's you guys' thoughts to this situation?
Liars of a feather can stick together. Because goddamn, these two right here are some lying ass people.
Oh Lord.
They some lying ass people. I'm sorry, like for real. Listen. I've noticed one thing about Chaz. When somebody peeps his game and calls him out, he got a problem. The sister called about it. It's like, what? Well, I don't know about Vanessa now. Like, oh, because she got people in her corner. You don't know about her? Are you serious? Like, bro, you sit here running with this. You was running with the story. You in cahoots with her. Clearly, you was okay with everything. Now that the sister is like, yeah, he seems like a manipulator. But sis, let's keep it real. Your sister won too. Because if you her real sister, you know this. I'm still gonna question the date that she brought her damn self because that man wasn't a real boyfriend. So there's that too. So like, you can make that face, Coach, but we know that man was not a real boyfriend to her. They went on one movie date and paid Dutch. Okay, it was not a real boyfriend. I'm just gonna let it be. I can't trust none of these people at this point, especially these two. These two right here. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't know why we even linking up. Child, she don't even like animals. This man clearly got a whole pet. Like, what was that one Married with First Sight season where people had to get rid of their animal because of the one person, the animal that took another one? You see, when two people have an animal and the animals don't even get along, it'd be a problem. You don't even like animals? Go on about your way. He wants to be married. You don't even want to be married. I don't know if she want any more kids. Well, she did say she'd be a baby mama. So it's that option. But I think he'd want more than just a baby mama. And then on top of it, he said, you ain't even his piece. I mean, he didn't say it to her, but he keep lying to her face. He told Patrice's family that she wasn't his piece. And you going around telling a whole nother person that you're dating, their family, that the other person that you're potentially dating is a problem. That's wild. That's wild. So I know she don't get to see that part. She's seen it now, but yeah, stop. Y'all playing. Y'all trying to make it to the bridge too at this point. Like, all right, bye.
Not Jay quoting Married at First Sight and don't even watch the show. She knows it. They telling you the couple too in the chat. It was Alexis and Justin.
Oh, and Alexis, my girl.
That's right, because she used to be on Sabrina's chat, and then I think you know her too now. But yeah, I don't listen. Chaz be killing me. him and he needs to get a different bag of metaphors and euphemisms and expressions. Because when he done told Vanessa, I always worship your temple, I'm like, bro, bro, like, what are you saying? That sounds like something else. So if that's not what you're meaning to say,
hold it the way he said it too. Every time I'm in your temple, I worship you.
yeah, exactly. Like, whoa, bro. What in the Love Jones poetry you got going on, bro? Because that sounds explicit, you know. So we gotta get it together, bro. We gotta get our language together. I think when he gets backed into a wall, he starts just talking. So he needs to pick his words wisely. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of it, but what I do think, and I said this yesterday on Jay's live at the end, I don't think Chaz is not really into any of these ladies for the long run, you know. And I think it's just all starting to show, and that's why he keeps getting a little, you know, he keeps getting not even a little, he keeps getting overwhelmed because he was overwhelmed last week. He had to leave, you know, and now we're overwhelmed again. You know, he's forgetting how many women are in the process. Is it 10? Is it 11? How many connections does he have? Is it Vanessa or is there another? And now he got a new one, you know. And I really got to say, I appreciate Vanessa's sister too, because she held firm. She asked him some very good questions, and she had some pretty good insight.
Definitely hear that. All right, cool. Last but not least, obviously, is Laron and Laron and Maya, the situation. I know you guys are gonna want to say your pieces on this, so let me not waste time with y'all. What's your thoughts on Laron Maya situation? First and foremost, can you answer this question? Is Laron dating Maya? I mean, you know, are they together? Do you feel like were they together? Because they want to date. They seem like they want to date in the club. Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on there? You know.
I'll let Jay answer since you know there's information that was delivered on her chat, on her channel.
Well, I'm waiting for some clarity. I don't want to be confused. You know, I don't like to. I told you I don't like to jump the gun on stuff. But here's the thing: in this process, we are dating. We are dating a bunch of people at the same time. So we're actually not in a relationship. Oh, okay. Well, here's your answer right here, baby.
Right on time.
Well, let's clear it up. Okay.
Let's clear that up right now.
Well,
She said, if he was my man, I would have introduced him to my
Maya
friend
said-
who I already knew. It wasn't a date. We all met up at a club and he showed his ass unwarranted. Now, Maya, the question is he your man now? Is it my man? Oh, you maybe can't answer that because I know they ain't finished the show. But, okay. If he was my man, she said.
If I was your boyfriend. Okay. Anyway, though. But like I was about to say, it's a no.
Wow.
A hell to no.
Clarity. Maya said she's like, I'm gonna give you clarity.
You want the tea? I'm going to give you some clarity.
I mean, that was a good one. You need to coin that one before
Yo,
you get started.
Maya, we
you need to get
respect
coined
you.
that one, Coach,
She's
before
like,
you get
I'm
started.
not
I'm going to take that one, isn't it? You know, Jay, you know.
Yep, you know. Never was. My guy. Oh,
Well,
it doesn't
look.
stop.
Ooh.
I hope Laron, bro, you watching?
Not Laron.
Laron, you watching, bro? He's been all across the
Listen.
interwebs.
Listen, see, that's when they say it, what they be saying, you know, sometimes people be thinking they dating you, but you not dating them. He was in a relationship, but she was single. Where's the sad music at? I shouldn't laugh this hard at somebody's pay because he hurting.
Well, just remind me never to, you know, Maya, I don't want to
I'm
get
in a
you
relationship.
upset because she's like, look, I tried to spare you, but now the episode is aired. We're going to be crystal clear. Yikes. Somebody go check on Laron.
Not Monique King with the Laron and the Cheesy Chaz. What the Cheesy Chaz sound like a product too? I too silly for this. I'm too silly for this. I can't. Okay. Well, there's my answers. Okay. I've said all I needed to say about it. I'm just gonna say this one last thing. Because I be seeing people running around here. Well, how did she get the information if he didn't say it directly to her or whatever? And I did ask her earlier. I don't know if she wrote back. Did Maya, real quick, can you answer this? I don't know if you can. Did you hear Laron actually call you out your name, or was it over her relayed back to you? Because I want to make a statement either way it goes on it. But my statement is, while she's figured if she can answer that or not, it doesn't matter if it was relayed back to her or she overheard it. The words came out your mouth for it to be heard by somebody, period. Then on top of it, you said the words and confirmed them on your confessional, which is taped afterwards. So therefore, I don't know why you're running around on your Twitter talking about somebody has it all confused and they're telling lies, when the fact is you said what you said, you doubled down in the confession with a laugh behind it. So it really doesn't matter how the information got back to Maya. You said it in the first place. Them words should have never came out your mouth. You should have never been in your feelings that much, and that hurt that you feel like you got to call somebody out their name because you assume they're getting a number, even if they were getting a number. That's wild, bro. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's somebody out there that like that kind of energy and all that stuff like that, but that's highly toxic. Highly.
Oh, she cleared it up, Jay. You see the comment?
Go for it, Sean, if you want to.
Oh, I didn't even know
okay.
you muted. Sorry.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
I was going off. I'm sorry, I was going off.
Go on, Jay.
Yeah, you were
Continue, my
muted.
bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
It was
I'm
mute. That's
sorry.
why I was like, wait, what's going on? Were you actually going off behind the mute?
I was going off this whole time.
Oh!
I was so sorry. I thought y'all was hearing me. I was going the heck off. I don't even know if y'all heard anything I said.
That's the good Lord.
No, because what the last thing I didn't hear you say anything when I said, I don't know if you heard me say Mika, not Mika, but Maya put the comment up on this.
Okay, so that y'all didn't hear anything. Okay, so basically what I was
So
saying
go again.
was, and that even though she cleared it up, I was saying it doesn't matter if she heard it or if somebody related, it came out your mouth. Then you double down on camera and literally with a laugh behind it said that you said it. So at the end of the day, the words came out your mouth, which never should have came out your mouth. You shouldn't be that insecure about anything about your woman if that was your woman in the first place. And clearly it wasn't. But so you let your insecurity shine and you call somebody out their name. That's little D energy. I'm so sorry. Okay, that's just like some F-boy stuff. Like, you're really whack for that. I'm gonna be honest with you, because if a person is not giving you the time of day, that's what you're gonna do. If you get in your feelings, that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna resort to. And I'm not even about to stand. I know last night I stood on maybe this the alcohol talking or whatever and stuff like that. They gave you enough confidence to even go there. But even with that, like, I just say you lucky, and I usually don't fight dudes. Like, I'm not gonna say usually don't, but you lucky. If I
No
was
more,
a
not
girl,
anymore.
okay, not anymore. But if I was a homegirl, like on some real stuff, like, bruh, you weak. I'm just gonna keep it real. You weak for that. That get on my nerves. And that's like when them dudes be sitting there, hey ma, F you then. You ugly anyway. Well, you was trying to holler in the first place, dummy. Move the hell on. I told you he ain't got no damn confidence in the first. I said that the last time, because if you're placed in a setting where it's only 10 women and you can't walk up and directly talk to her off bat, your confidence is not even there to handle her in the first place. And she's not going to be able to be with somebody that's insecure and has low self-esteem and confidence about themselves, because it's never going to work. They always going to think she got something else going on. And that's why the words come out your mouth. I don't want to look like a simp, because in your mind, you already think you're a simp. That's on you, bro. That's not on her.
Yeah, brother, this is what happened, and I said this last week. This is when you batting out of your league, and you know, you got some insecurities with you, and that's the only thing to me that is going to make you react like that, because you don't just spring out of nowhere referring to, whether he said it to her directly, he said it to somebody else and referring to her as the B word, then he's referring to other women as the B word. Like, I don't know. Like, I always think about, like, I don't have any sisters, no siblings, but I think about my mom. I think about my cousins, the women that are in my life. If I had a daughter, so why we want to be carrying on like that? And it's not to say people don't get into arguments, but it's one thing to have an argument, a disagreement, versus you calling her out her name because you're uncomfortable with an interaction that you see her having. Like, how are you going to navigate life when you have, when you have a beautiful woman? It's going to happen. She's going to get attention. It's the name of the game, and you got to be comfortable enough to know how to navigate it. And me and Jay and Seaway, we were talking behind the scenes, and I'm like, listen, they always make fun of me because they'll be like, I'm the number one. Like, if a dude comes on the scene, and they're not my girls, obviously, but I will insert myself. I know how to do that. And if I was liking her, we were dating, I see a guy, I'm gonna walk over and introduce myself. Hey, bro, what's going on? How you doing? That's it. Are we all friends? Okay, cool. If you want to know, if you think you see something happening, then go and introduce yourself. But if y'all are not dating, or it's kind of a new situation, you just have to fall back. You have to fall back and be confident enough to not, overreact. Because if you are overreacting at that stage of the game, that means you're pressed, and you're pressed because of your own problems. So yeah, I just think as a man, you have to know how to control yourself. You have to use your words, and in the right way. And you can't be calling her out her name. Like, what's wrong with you? So I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think that's totally whack. And he has to learn to do better. Get some help.
Run around arguing with her in the comments. Come out, stop telling other men to stop arguing with her in the comments because she gonna get mad all over and I'm gonna lose my girl. You lost her a long time ago. You lost her before you had her, bro. Get out of here. Like, cut the crap. Sorry, coach. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go for it, go for it. No, go for it. I was just gonna say if you had anything else to add, because I know, I know we're gonna dress up Monday, but still, just in case you got anything else to add, you might as well add it.
Nah, I'm good because I'm gonna get myself aggy over this because I'd have told y'all I'm not. I told y'all in the chat earlier I'm not the best to talk to. I don't like clown energy like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's from a woman or a man. I don't like clown energy. That's clown energy to me. Like, you that, and it's not even jealousy. You just really that insecure that you mad that you see her interacting with anybody instead of doing like Sean said, just going to find out who the person is to her, whatever the case may be, or just watching her from a distance and then make your move quietly. Have some real coof about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get pressed and start throwing a tantrum and all this stuff. If you invited people out and you throwing the event and you spending the money and stuff like that, chalk it up. You spent the money. And if you were spending the money to get her to be on your team, well, you would need to invest better. That's on you. It's wild.
Yeah, I think this is what happened when you don't have a well laid out game plan, and you see the chips, you see the game falling apart right before your very eyes. And that's why he lost it. And this is another reason why if you don't, that's why they say it ain't tricking if you got it. Well, if you don't have it, don't trick. If you don't have it to be popping bottles, buying tables, or doing whatever you doing in the club, trying to throw it up, then at the end of the day, don't do it. And then when you see things not going the way you expect them to go, now you upset and now you lashing out. Because if this is all from somebody talking to her, what's going to happen with something serious? So I just feel like he has to really learn how to handle himself. And these excuses about I'm from up north, I'm from New York. We don't. If a guy is calling a girl a B word, we looking crazy. Like, what? What are you doing? Like, what is that about? You know, so I don't know any of my friends, anybody I roll with. We don't call women the B word. You know, so that to me doesn't make sense. And then it almost makes it worse because we see Mika is in the chat. She said he told her directly to her face, bro. What is that? So you're gonna look at another woman and tell another woman that your girl that you are trying to get with is the B word. F her. We got bees back at the crib, bro. What? Like, what are you trying to? What are you telling? What's Mika gonna do with that information? You think that makes her feel good? You think that's a compliment to her? Or are you venting to her, calling another girl a B word? Like, it just still does not make any sense to me. None of it makes sense. I want him to stop talking on the internet. You just keep making yourself look worse. Take the apology. You already said the apology on the show. Don't tell me about editing, schmediting, production, whatever. You said it, whether it was directly or not. Own your apology, say I'm sorry, and let's move on.
Now, I ain't one that really be pressed about the B word. I'm not gonna hold you because if I'm acting like one, you might be well in your right when you call me one, but I'm gonna show you it for sure, right after you call me. So be prepared. However, before we get into this, I didn't call her a B directly. I said I can get B's or whatever and stuff like that. That means that you're either referencing her as one of the B's, and on top of it, you still calling us other women out there or whoever other woman that messes with you a B. At the end of the day, you're still being disrespectful as heck. And you need to upgrade your vocabulary if that's all you can do right now. Because to be honest with you, in order for me to be a B and you sniff me out, that means you're a whole B yourself. Because it take one to spot one. Period.
Man, I know. Listen, obviously, I think the situations are, never the best, especially when you're the dude that's called the girl that you like this name. But obviously, like I said, I did 2 reviews and I did them in a different way because I wanted to be able to help people like Laron because I've interviewed him already. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of wounds there. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of hidden wounds that are contributing towards his behavior. I think he's gonna regret that behavior for a very long time. I think he will have to look at himself in regards to that situation in terms of taking the time out to fully understand what actually happened there. I think he really would need to sit with self and understand what really took hold of him in that moment, because the B word is just the end product, the fruit at the end of the tree, but there's actually a root cause of that action, right? Like I said in my my reviews, which you guys will watch in the next couple of days, anger has a root cause to it. You know what I mean? So when you look at the root cause of the anger, it's usually disappointment, frustration, pain, hurt, something that hasn't been able to be materialized in your youth. And then you kind of repeat the scenario in your adulthood, trying to kind of recorrect and readdress. But whenever you get to a place of, for instance, I remember when I was younger, when I was dating one of my earlier girlfriends, I used to joke around with the word B in it. I used to say ho and B. And she was like, why do you keep saying that? I was like, oh, it's like fun, innit? We just joke around with the kind of stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? She like, I'd never say it in a serious argument, but like I said, as a joke kind of thing. She's like, yo, like, it's disrespectful. And in my head, I didn't see it as that because like we joke around that particular way, right? So I had to be corrected in that point. Now, I would never say that in an angry argument, and never have done. But when you do go to that place when you're angry and you use those words, it's actually a form of devaluing. And when you do that, when you devalue your partner, there's a bigger issue at hand. Your partner isn't the issue. It's actually how you view that gender. Both men and women do this. It's just easier to spot with men because we have a lot more examples with men doing it to women. Women do it to men too. They emasculate men in that when they get angry, they say some emasculating shit. Like, you gay, all of those things. They do it to intentionally devalue the man. men do this as well with women. So when obviously you get angry and you say certain words like the B word, it actually, the beef isn't with the person in front of you. Actually, it's with the, your beef is with the gender, it's with the sex, it's whatever you've experienced, whether it's your mom, whether it's your sisters, whether it's how you were treated when you were growing up or whatever, but how you view the gender. So that's why the B word becomes really problematic when you use it in such a angry form, because in your anger you are cursing in that moment. So that aspect of you saying those things to that thing to Mika, the biggest issue is that you said it to Mika, not even realizing that your anger was taking you to a place, to a friend who's going to be friends with your girl. Does that make sense? So your anger was so blinding, you couldn't even realize that saying these words was not a safe place, right? Because if you had said it to your boys, it would have never got out, right? You know, as boys, we say, when you're pissed at your girl, you might come and say some mad shit to the boys, but it never gets out. Because you understand that it's with your boys and it's a safe place, and that information never comes out. Because let's be honest, boys and girls have conversations about their partners they would never say in front of their partner, right? And that's the whole point. You're meant to say it to your safe confidants when you get this angry, when you get this vexed. The fact that he couldn't even process the information to not say it to Mika tells us that you don't even realize when you're angry what you're actually fully doing. So at that point, not only are you devaluing your partner, at that point too, yes, someone said insecurity, at that point too, which obviously leads to, yes, jealousy, you know, is that, you know, there's a wound there, and that wound, when it's pressed, you can't see very well. And that's a bigger issue. So I've done the videos on that, and you guys will see next few days, but I did, unfortunately, Laron's in that situation. Hopefully he fully gets and understands that situation, that, you know what, and of course I don't know the full story. Like maybe he would have to give maybe his perspective, maybe, you know, and show us what he was seeing from his particular side, you know, as well, you know, but from the side we're seeing right now, it doesn't look too good. So I will still wait to see what he's saying on his side too, but from what we can see from our perspective, it don't look good. You know what I mean? It don't look good. You know.
And can I say this one last point before this come out?
Of course.
Listen, the B word in women's social groups is allowed, just like the N word is only allowed for us Black folks. We don't let white people say it and stuff like that. So technically, men shouldn't be saying it. I don't even like when a man says it to an actual dog, like, that's my bit, like my dog right there, and it's a dog. That's the actual name for it. I don't even like it when it's like that, to be honest. So, like, before women use it, this, that, and the third, I don't want to hear that excuse either. Yes, we use it amongst each other, just like the N word is used amongst us Black folks or whatever, but we be damned if a white person decide that they're going to say it. We be damned if a man going to sit here and try to use it, and it's not a term and endearment when men generally use it. Let's be honest. Men don't just be like, oh, bitch, unless he really a gay man. So unless Laron is gay, that's the only way I'm going to believe it was a term and endearment when he was using it. So if he wants to take the gay route, fine by me. I'll let him have it. But otherwise, you owe some people an apology, bruh. Let's just stand on that, since we standing on business and everything else.
Truth be told, I don't even like hearing when I hear the gay guys say it. You know,
that too, because sometimes
I can't stand it. I don't know why it's a trigger for me. It's not even like, you know, like I didn't grow up hearing like my dad talk to my mother like that or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I just have a problem with that. Like, I just think, like, you know, men shouldn't be talking to women that way, period.
Well, I think he didn't say it directly to Maya. I think he said it to Mika outside. But still, that doesn't excuse it. Again, like I said, it doesn't excuse it if the fact that he couldn't even realize that Mika and Maya are friends, and he didn't realize that saying it to her was not safe.
You need to go to the bathroom and scream it out in the bathroom and all that.
That's
like,
what I'm saying,
cry
yeah.
to yourself, cry in the car, but don't tell another woman, oh, that be over there, especially if she ain't, like, I can see the only real time I can really see it, and that's because your anger is there because she actually put hands on you, like she hit you with a bottle or some craziness like that. That's when you have that blind rage. That's what I could see you having it. I'm not saying that you should act on it or anything like that, but I can see you having it in that moment. But just because you're watching her interact with another man, like, bro, like literally this lady does waist trainers. She's selling products. So that means she's going to be out in a public space interacting with people all the time. Like, you can't be insecure with a person that is a public figure, so to speak. That's the craziest thing ever. Like, to be that angry that you are throwing a literal temper tantrum in the club, going outside, cussing somebody out and all this stuff like that. Like, where's your composure? You can't hold your cool while you're in the club. Like, did you not have that mama that be like, wait till we get home? Didn't you not learn that? I don't know. That's weird. There it is right there, Laron. That's what she kept calling him. Monique got it, Sean. That's what she kept calling him, Laron. I'm sorry, that Courtney lady funny. She made me laugh. I watched her video today. She kept calling Laron.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just feel like similar to what you said, Kojo, it's like you have to have some internalized dislike for you to just go that to be your go-to. And so early on, I think, and I don't want anybody to get me wrong. I'm not saying you can ever excuse being verbally disrespectful. However, we can understand maybe a little bit later on if somebody really did something directly to you and then you lost your cool. But like, how are you so early on in your situation where you're just blasting her, whether it's her directly or to somebody else, saying, F her, I get B's. Like, bro, why is that even in your frame of reference? Like, why do you feel like you need to justify that? And I think that's where it comes back to, what's the root? Are you so super concerned about your image? Do you feel like you are, your image? It's like when you are secure in yourself, that kind of stuff, even if, let's say she was talking to another guy, you screaming and yelling and F her this and F her that, you got to be able to think, okay, so what's next? Maybe that means she doesn't like me. Let's play devil's advocate. If Maya was talking to another guy, hey, if y'all all out in the club together and she's talking to another guy, what does that lead you to say? She doesn't like you. So maybe you need to move around and adjust yourself. So, that tells me, like, when somebody does something you don't like, how do you respond? You got to be able to manage your emotions. These things are going to happen. So I don't understand it all. And I think he got to do a lot of work on himself, how to control himself, how to manage situations, how to deal with conflict, how to communicate effectively.
Yeah, listen, look, I can understand why he might have been vexed. Listen, I can always say anger is not the issue, it's always the reaction, isn't it, right? So I can understand if he went outside, he was vexed, he wanted to cool down, get his thoughts together. The problem is that, he spoke in the anger and then started saying stuff. And one of the things you have to understand as well about anger, and I've done this in my video, so I can't wait till it drops tomorrow, is about people that are silently angry. So I hope you guys watch it, because there's a lot of people that are silently angry. I'm one of them. I can't even lie to you. This is God. I told Sean, God got onto me big time. But the manifestation of your anger is very different. People have different manifestations. The problem is some people's silent anger can be very much more destructive. Some people play victim with their anger, right? So they're silently angry. When they're triggered, they play a victim. Some people's anger is that they become very cold, right, and very callous. Some people's anger, like we're seeing with Laron, is vindictive. So he will do something or say something to devalue or hurt the other party. Some people's anger is, I would say, more calculating, and they do tit for tat and la tete. They're going, as you did to them, they're gonna do to you. Right? So there are different manifestations of anger and how what I call silent anger, which usually is seated above disappointment and fear of abandonment and being taken advantage of or not being understood. So there's an anger that sits just above that, right? Or sorry, I should say sits just below that. And instead of actually the person activating and being honest and open about how they feel disappointed, or because let's be honest, like you could have felt in that moment, listen, hey, you could have maybe spoke to Maya aside, said, hey, look, I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt a little bit jealous in that moment, but I don't know, is that your friend? Do you know what I mean? But we can't do that because you've not learned that skill to be open and honest with your feelings. So what ends up happening is that you crush those feelings all the way down, and it becomes a really loaded jack and spring. And so when someone triggers you, there's an explosion. And there's a lot of people who got silent anger, right? But the manifestation of it is the problem. And his manifestation, it goes into vindictiveness. He told us that himself. Like when he came on our interview, he told us he can be vindictive. He admitted it, right? So in that sense, unfortunately, because he's vindictive in that aspect, now you're seeing the fruits of that vindictiveness because it has a much more destructive power. So he's not I don't see him as an angry person. If I'm honest with you, I don't see Laron as an angry person, but I do see him as that as soon as he feels like he's going to be embarrassed or he's going to be shamed or he's going to be taken advantage of, that anger is there. Now, a lot of people are maybe looking at Laron and going, and I'm starting to realize myself as well, like, I look at a lot of people and you like, that can never be me. And I'm like, there's a lot of people like Laron. And there's a lot of men and women who are like Laron. Some of you have your mouths go off straight away. As soon as someone angers you, you're like, oh, I'm just so truthful. But you're hurtful and you cut with your mouth. You're also vindictive. It just appears differently. And now when a man does it, he doesn't get the same kind of grace, and he shouldn't, because unfortunately, physically, he can also do damage. So you're not going to get the same kind of grace as a woman's going to get when she's vindictive with her mouth. But there's a lot of people are angry and they're vindictive and they call it, I'm just a truth teller. You're not. You're nasty work and you're vindictive. Right? So it's all about how your manifestation of your anger comes out. And so unfortunately for Laron, he's going to have to do some real deep work here, because as a protector, you can't be in a space of also afflicting the person you're supposed to be protecting. Then your job is null and void. You know what I'm saying to you? Right? Then your job is null and void in that point. So he needs to go and do that work. ASAP Rocky, we saw this when he did the interview with us. He needs to go and do that work so that he doesn't become the protector and the afflictor, because then that becomes confusing for the person who's in the relationship, who's trying to be loved and taken care of, but you are the same person inflicting damage to them. Right? So it's important, it's important at the end of the day that, that in some shape or form that we be very much aware that you're gonna be looked at as dangerous if you don't sort that part out, because unfortunately your anger doesn't come out any other way but vindictiveness. If he was more of a victim or something else, he could get away with it, but his anger comes out as destructive patterns of behavior. So he gonna have to look at that. You know what I mean? So
there's one more thing about Laron too. I don't want to make it all about Laron, because Mika, Maya, you got your issues too, baby. We got to work on your discernment, mama. But Laron, what I remember from your interview, Laron wants to enter the dark art space. I say wants to because he's not technically in it. His heart is not in it. The one thing about dark arts is when you do vengeance and all this stuff like that, that's a dish best served code. You cannot have a heart in it. Laron actually has a heart that wants to be a lover, but because he's bitter and hurt from whatever happened way back when, he still don't want to acknowledge, to talk about, to get over it. The fact that he won't even heal from that thing, it leads him in this gray area space between wanting to be in the dark arts and play around with people in that field and actually be the lover that he actually is. The problem with that is you get reactions like this. Because if he was all the way in a dark art space, he wouldn't be so pressed on a person getting the one up on him, because he either got the one up on them or he's in his head, already knew this was going to happen, so I peep game, whatever the case may be. But when you play in dark arts and you always got to be the one who's doing all the stuff, and you finally catch that person that you actually want to be with, now you get in that space in your head where you insecure because you thinking about all the times you was doing the F stuff or whatever, and you think that this person is going to do something to you. And here you go, jumping the gun, thinking that they're doing something to you when they're actually not. Because in the back of your mind is, I got to get this person before they get me. When you first walk into the dark art space, that's the first thought you think is, I got to get this person before they get me. And that's your ammo all the time. And so you always setting yourself up to be played either one way or the other, because you're going to get played by playing yourself when they don't do nothing actually. And then here you go flipping off the handle like this. Or you're going to sit back and think it can't happen to you, and you're going to get played that way. And if you got a heart, you need to stay out of it. You need to stay out them dark corners, because it's not for you, baby. It's not.
Listen. Yeah. So hopefully, Laron hears it, and he understands it as well. Like, I do understand where he's coming from. I get it. The insecurity does that to you, man. It just turns you into that beast. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But I want to say, like, I hope that, as he hears this, it's not me trying to kill him, but rather more of a case of, like, send that kind of sharp warning. Like, not everyone gets told this before they do something really stupid, and then they can't take it back. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, this is light work at the moment. Do you know what I mean? You can end up saying or doing something stupid in your anger even more. So it's imperative that as men that we nail it kind of early. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't know, and I'm saying this to be honest. Like, I don't want to ever, like, pretend as if I'm better than anybody. I can understand where he's coming from, because I know that I said this that I feel like I can see myself in Laron, and people were like, no. I was like, yeah, no, I can, because when you're an avoidant, this is some of the things that happen to your anger is hidden. So that's why I said that he doesn't look like a naturally angry person, Laron, until you press him on something. If he feels like you're taking advantage or you're doing this or that, that's where the flip happens. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And the difference is that it's not a slow flip, it's a quick flip. You lot have seen my anger. You see me if I get angry, I'm frustrated. It's a quick flip. I don't go 0 to 10. I go 0 to 100. I haven't got time to go through the numbers. You know what I'm saying to you? And I'm always honest about that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you can see as much patience that I have on these shows. I do have a lot of patience, but trigger me in the right area and you will get another response. You get what I'm saying to you? So the reality of the situation is, as an individual, you have to start paying attention to some of those behaviors. And as me as an individual, I didn't even think it was much of a problem. I was like, no, I only get flipped over when someone does something. But then God was like, listen, well, Moses was not, somebody might say that Moses wasn't necessarily an angry person, because throughout the whole of the Bible, he only has 2 moments. Okay, 3, because he killed somebody. But there's only 2 moments for Moses. You know what I'm saying? To Moses, literally, the first time it ever happens is when he sees the people worshiping a false god, and he's got the tablets in his hand, and he just dashes the tablets on the ground. And he dashes and it breaks. After all the time he spent in heaven, on the mountaintop, you come down from the mountaintop and you see them doing what they're doing, and you smash the rocks. And number 2, the second time, it actually cost him the promised land. He strikes the rock several times when he shouldn't have struck it, because he was angry at the people. So clearly people have underlying anger issues, which is why I was saying that it's evident to see someone like Laron because we get to see him on the show, but by just interacting with him, I'm like, he's not naturally that kind of person that's angry. It is when you press that button, okay? When you press that kind of wound, how does a person react in that situation? That's the question, you know what I mean? So that's where he needs to work on. It's the healing of that wound. Otherwise, you can go from 0 to 100. And if you're somebody who's got a destructive trait, yeah, you go and cause carnage as well, you know what I mean? But I'm not saying it to be better than him. More of a case of just be able to understand that that you need to be very much aware of what wounds are there, so that when people are pressing it, okay, let me start healing that, let me start working on that, as well. So yeah, it is what it is.
The difference, and this is why we kept saying that you're not him, is because you actually see yourself. Let me put this better. You actually know who you are in this moment, and you know a part of who you're supposed to become. Laron doesn't know that, and we know that because every time he mentioned somebody, he picked up a trait from them. But Laron, what are your traits? Who are you? Because if you can't sit with yourself and accept the things that you've been through, accept the things that you're going through, and prepare for the things you're going to go through, you're going to always have a problem with everybody else, and you're always going to be the victim of everybody else's story. You're never going to be the hero of your own story, which is really crazy because naturally we're narcissists in our own story. We should be the hero, but you're constantly the victim in your own story, which is weird. And that's because you don't know who you are to have the boundaries around you. You actually have boundaries. You're actually like, listen, I'll let you in, and you get mad because I let you in my boundaries. He don't actually have the boundaries. He just wants acceptance. And when you just want acceptance, you just let anybody in. And then when they take advantage of you, you're now mad at the world. But in reality, you're mad at yourself because something in you was telling you, don't let this person into my space. They might take advantage of me for this reason and stuff. And sometimes what men tend to do this is because they know us women, and I'm not saying this is what any of these women were after in this process. I'm just saying this in general. Sometimes we look at men for money and all that stuff. And so men will lead with that part of them instead of the genuine characteristics that makes us stay with you. So when you lead with that part, and then when you can't financially hold up to that area, then you get mad when she pulls away. Well, you led with that. You didn't lead with you. If you led with you, she might be holding on to you. The money might be a bonus. You would know what she's there for. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the Prince Hakeem effect. I'm coming over here not letting you know I'm a prince so you can fall in love with me. The title is a bonus. So sometimes men have to do that. Y'all have to lead with yourselves and stop leading what you think we want. And you might actually be what we want.
Definitely hear that. That's a word to the wise. All right, listen, time is up, guys. We'll be back on Monday for the proper super panel. It was just a quick light one just to get it out because obviously it was such a powerful episode and I know you guys wanted to discuss it. Shout out to Maya and Mika for also showing a bit of love in the chat as well. We appreciate it as well. And we had almost 500 of you guys coming to live today. Listen, we'll be back on Monday night for the proper super panel. This was just a little nice little touch. Late one, we'll discussing it behind the scenes as well. So hopefully, Laron, you hear this message loud and clear, and it helps to kind of push you on the right path to get the healing you need. And also, hopefully, you know, for Maya too, that, you know, I know that she said that's not her man and everything as well, but hopefully that, you know, that doesn't mean that you guys won't be called in the future. Hopefully he apologized. Well, he's apologized. Hopefully he learns and changes his behavior as well. You know what I mean? So it's not easy. But yeah, listen, also join the membership too, because Super Panel will be membership heavy, okay? Because the first few minutes we'll keep it open, but then we'll go membership only. There's too many of you guys now members, so we have to make things membership only to kind of, you know, appreciate the fact that you guys are 600 plus in the chat as well. So Monday night we'll be back for members live only. Tuesday night is our members live. I have no clue because you guys give me about 100 different topics, so I'm gonna look over it on Sunday and look over what topics you guys want to discuss, because there's quite a few you guys gave me in terms of topics as well. So definitely, you know, so we'll definitely chop it up on Tuesday night as well for the members live. I have Dom as well on Tuesday night, so I'll be interviewing around about 5:30, and then we'll do the members live after. So yeah, we've got Dom from Ready to Love. We'll interview him on Tuesday. And hopefully I can get a few more of the girls to come through. I think I'll try and get Alexis and a few others to interview them as well. And hopefully we'll get Maya as well on here to give her thoughts as well. So shout out to Maya for coming through. Thank you also. Audience members, thank you. SA, shout out to you as well for joining the members. We appreciate you. You know, I haven't played this song in a little while, so let me play it one more time, baby. That's right. All right. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. We'll see you again very, very soon. Much love, much appreciation. See ya.